Hello friends, time for day 3. Oh, one sec. There we go. Day 3. Day 3 lobby. What's happening with Twitch? Fixed. Day 3 lobby. You descend a short staircase, enter the surprisingly vast lobby, and are quickly cleared by the security checkpoint. When you get to the main elevators, however, you discover that each one has a red light above it. They are all offline. Sorry about that, and Elf apologizes as she tinkers with a nearby control panel. Some kind of electrical surge seems to have fried them. I tried to get them online soon. You explain your need to get further underground. Well, you could at least take the escalator down to the printing department. Not that you'd get much further than that without the elevators working. That is, you could if the escalators weren't also offline. Elevator and escalator, yes. But don't worry, it's not fried, it just needs power. Maybe you can get it running while I keep working on the elevators. There are batteries nearby that can supply emergency power to the escalator for just such an occasion. The batteries are each labeled with their voltage rating, a value from 1 to 9. 9! Make a note of their voltage ratings, your puzzle input. For example, the batteries are arranged into banks. Each line of digits in your input corresponds to a single bank of batteries. Within each bank, you need to turn on exactly 2 batteries. The voltage that the bank produces is equal to the number formed by the digits on the batteries you've turned on. For example, if you have a bank like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and you turn on batteries 2 and 4, the bank would produce 24 joules. Why's that? Voltage that the bank produces is equal to the number formed by the digits on the batteries you've turned on. So 2 and 4, so 2 strings just joined together, I guess. You need to find the largest possible voltage each bank can produce. In the above example, in 987 and so on, you can make the largest voltage possible by only turning exactly 2 batteries on, right? By turning on the first 2 batteries. In 8-11109, you can make the largest voltage possible by turning on the batteries labeled 8 and 9, producing 89 joules. The total output voltage is the sum of the maximum voltage from each bank. So in this example, the total output voltage is 98 plus 89, blah blah, equal to 357. There are many batteries in front of you. Find the maximum voltage possible from each bank. What is the total output voltage? Then morgen ayur. Copy day 2. Oops. Call it day 3. Example input. This one. Real input is this one. And to the body. Everything else seems to be the same. Output of the example first part is this one. return integer. I think so. Mahlzeit, sagt er. Line, some, how to spell. So now we want to set the value. We iterate through the string, character by character. We check if do we want to check? So it's both empty at start. Just start with 0 and 1. Then we start with 2. And we need the index. We check if current character is larger than character at index 2. If that's the case, we set the index, and additionally, if the index at the value at index 2, wait, this is wrong. Line of index 2. Additionally, before setting that, if at at index 1 is smaller than, then we can just set index 1 equal to index 2. Then we return complicated maybe. Also just do it 10 times int line index 1 plus int line index 2. Right? Right. See what we get. R is dash oh shit, this is the wrong solution file. Okay, I use git, so I can just revert it. Version, I get 354. What's that? Let's see, debugger. For this line we get 98. Then we get 89. One is 78. Ah, this one needs to be 91. So I missed this step. This one needs to be probably outside. But then I also need to set a new value. So switch no matter what. The number at index 1 is smaller than index 2. Otherwise also check the number at index 2 is smaller than the current iterating character. We get the same result. 9, 79. Then we get 92. It's the missing 3, I think. Now the assert works. And we already got the solution, I think. We enter the solution. That's the right answer, yeah. Are one gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. Continue to part 2. Part 2. The escalator doesn't move. The elf explains that it probably needs more Georgage to overcome the static friction of the system and hits the big red Georgage limit safety override button. You lose count of the number of times she needs to confirm yes I'm sure and decorate the lobby a bit while you wait. Now you need to make the largest Georgage by turning on exactly 12 batteries with each bank. Georgage output of the Georgage help. The Georgage output for the bank is still the number formed by the digits of batteries you've turned on. The only difference is that now there will be 12 digits in each bank's Georgage output instead of 2. Consider again the example from before. Blah blah blah. Instead of this, maximum 2, I guess. Call it get maximum 12. So we get indices equal to list range 12. Then start at 12. 12. And check for could use a zip, I guess. Doesn't matter. Up to -1. The following index, and here we get the list char. Or do I want that? Or not needed. Actually, I need to enumerate the other way. Right? If I have a list of indices, say, then afterwards it should move like this. And I have to set the indices at first index smaller than this one. So we need to set this way to that, right? Now this index, just set it to none, I guess. Or -1. Then in the next loop I need to check that's equal to -1. This doesn't seem to be right. This needs to be a line. It's -1, then I need to do this anyway. You shift the values. Otherwise, we're at the last index. Do incline of index 1. Not line indices of that will be set to jar. Oh, jar index. There we go. Then here the result will be line indices. Could use a reverse loop, so each time right. So when we start at the end, we multiply by 1. And then in the next step by 10. So on. And where is it? Return some result. Okay, now this is line sum part 1. This is for part 2. Debug in that function. Or it gets called with that. Answer part 2 is first index 1. And here I can just remove that. Let's see what we have. Maximum 12 is not before. Yeah, I can also do the assert. Part 2. Go. And the assert is also different. Should be this value. say result list. Result equal to sum result list. Need to type in this. Yeah. Result for the first value is 1. This doesn't seem right. Why are they all 14? Yeah, if this index 1 equal to len 9, and then I also need to break out, because this only gets checked, should get checked, executed once. See, what do we have for this one? 9 at the end. Is that correct? Enumerate. We have len 9, 15. Have char index, right? Char index. Should be compared to char index. Only if this is the last item, get the last index, right? Twelve, 11. I get results. That seems better. What about this one? Next out of range. Oh, so I need to nest it. Like this. It should break out always. What do I have? Seems wrong. Try it with this line disabled. See where we get. Start, it's all 0 to 11. We start at index 12 is 2, I think. Oh boy. Yeah, this should be moved. This one is at -1, so the next loop is that here. Then we shift this one. Shift, 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 shift. And the last one breaks out. We also break. This can be an if then. This can be down here. No, it can't be down there. So if indices, this index 1 equal to -1, then we want to set it no matter what. Like here, no. Yeah, right? Return index. Correct. So the result is 8, 8, 8. 2. Why do I have 2? -1. Shit. So this needs to be not break but continue. Not correct. Four, two, three. 4, 3, 4, 2, 3. Happening. $50. So the 8 at the end is correct, but it needs to be a 2. Why is this moved? This number is smaller than shift. So we're in the correct loop. Let's see, it should not move the 2 to 3. Why does it go in here? Are we in the correct loop? Just 8, so we're in the last the line. Then I'm missing an accessor. This is this. Here if that's the same, right? I get 4, 3, 4. 4, 3, 4 seems right. Where's part 1 different? Oh yeah, because I changed this file. And for part 2 I get this value. Submit. That's the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer to decorating the North Pole. You completed day 3. Nice. Alright. And that's it for the stream.